said, empty your mind.
Hey everybody, it's Master Wahnish here and I welcome you to today's video. Today is going to be a little bit off-topic subject where I'm talking about fasting and intermittent fasting. So if you're in peak physical shape, this might not be a great video for you, and I'd be happy to see you in the next lesson. If you've been sitting around packing on a little bit too many pounds, you want to drop a little bit of weight, this might be a good video for you to listen to. Now, this is not medical advice. I am a nationally board certified acupuncturist and herbologist, but once again, this is not medical advice. I'm just sharing some of my experiences and some benefits I feel of fasting and intermittent fasting. Now, to make a long story short, I lost nearly 100 pounds after having some health issues. And I did that with no medications, drugs, fat burners, nothing, but eating a good, clean diet, getting some exercise, but most importantly, implementing a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting and a little bit of prolonged fasting. Now, if you don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's basically where you're not eating for a period of time. And the most common intermittent fasting cycle is called a 16-8, meaning you're not eating for 16 hours and then you have an 8-hour eating window. And I'm going to tell you this, the biggest mistake that people make with intermittent fasting is that exact thing I just said, the 8-hour eating window. You think you just went 16 hours and now you can have an 8-hour eating window and you eat whatever you want in 8 hours and you wind up packing on a lot of weight still. So yes, you can gain weight intermittent fasting, but you could also lose some weight. Now, here's the benefits of fasting. Basically, when you're eating, and I'm just going to keep this real simple, when you're eating all day long, what you're doing is spiking your insulin. When you spike your insulin, you're creating inflammation in your body. So by eating constantly throughout the day, you're constantly spiking your insulin and it creates more inflammation in your body. And you're really never giving your body a break, a chance to just relax, digest the food, and heal. So there's numerous fasting, benefits to fasting, from weight loss, but also reducing inflammation, and the list goes on and on and on. And there's numerous great videos out there, and I will put out more videos on this content if people are interested as well. So you can simply start, if you're interested. What I did is I started with 16-8, and it's really, if for those that might sound like that's a hard thing, it's really not. It's a very easy thing to do because you just basically wake up in the morning and you drink a bunch of water. You can have some coffee or some green tea. Basically, it's 0 calories. So you want to consume 0 calories. So you can have something like a green tea, you can have water, but you don't want to have anything with any calories. And before you know it, 11 a.m. has come, depending on when you stop fasting, and you're ready to eat. And it's that simple. And it doesn't have to be a 16-8. Some people do a 12-12, which isn't, I don't really even consider that a fast. That should be kind of normal. Stop eating at 9 o'clock at night and then start eating at 9 in the morning. I mean, that should just be, give your body a little bit of a break. But the 16-8 is generally where most people start. And I think it's a wonderful place to start and just kind of dipping your toes in the water and experimenting with some fasting. And it's important to stay hydrated and drink plenty of fluids. And then it's also important to watch what you're eating and count your calories as well. And use this time to eat consistently and figure out, okay, and once again, I'll get into quality of foods because there's different diets. People are omnivores, carnivores, pescatarians, vegetarians, vegans. There's numerous diet choices, the keto diet, but it's important to understand where your calorie deficit is, where your maintenance calories are, and what would put you in excess. So you can use a free app, like something like MyFitnessPal, to start tracking your calories. It's so simple. You can just scan your package or type it in, and it just tells you. It's the easiest thing to do. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to count my calories. It's too much work. It's really not. It's simple. It's so simple with these apps. They're free, and it just makes life so easy. We have a gas tank, gauge on our car to let us know when our car is full. But our bodies, sometimes our hormones throw things off to where we don't really or sometimes we just don't listen to our body and we keep eating. So we don't really know where our full limit is. So this is a great way to start tracking, figure out where your maintenance calories are and what puts you in a deficit. And I promise you one thing, these apps will always tell you too many calories. If you're following the app and you put in your weight and all these things, your height, your exercise, all that, it generally allows you way too many calories, you'll find. So you don't really trust that. You're gonna have to just start tracking and weighing yourself, and you'll understand, okay, yes, I'm gaining weight off this, I'm losing weight here, and you'll get in that perfect groove. And the easiest way to do that is just with consistent meals. If you're having something like a hard-boiled egg, that's 70 calories in that. You're not putting any oil, there's no butter, exactly purely 70 calories in that egg. It's an easy thing to track. One of those tuna packets, tons of protein, and it tells you exactly how many calories. It's an easier thing to track because a lot of the food packages don't really tell us the truth. And then, when you start adding ketchup or, condiments or some oils and butters to what you're cooking, it really can throw things off. So you really do want to keep it simple. Do your best to track everything at the beginning, and then you'll understand. You eat 3 eggs, that's 210 calories. A packet of tuna, that's 70 calories. And it gets real easy to track your calories. Or steak, or chicken, or whatever, carrots, whatever you're doing, it can become real simple. So I do recommend tracking your calories as not to go overboard. Then there's longer fasts where you can do something like a 24-hour fast, where they call that OMAD, where you're essentially eating 1 meal a day. And then from there, you can go into a 48-hour, 1 meal every 48, 1 meal every 72. Now, when you get into the longer periods of fasting, you enter a state of something called autophagy. And to make it real simple, that's when your body destroys its unhealthy cells and creates new, healthier cells. Now, I will tell you that's very beneficial for numerous reasons, but there are some concerns out there as well in this day and age as we're all trying to boost our immune system and keep our immune system as strong as possible. When you fast for too long, you can spike cortisol, and when you spike cortisol, that can wind up having a negative effect on your immune system. So in this day and age, a shorter fast might be a more preferred fast. You can actually go really long, but when you go with longer fasts, you do need to consume some electrolytes, and I'm not talking Gatorade, because Gatorade has a lot of calories in it. We're talking like pink Himalayan sea salt and some potassium chloride powder, maybe some magnesium. There's different solutions you can make up, and I'm happy to share with you some of these recipes where you're consuming some calories, and not calories, but you're consuming some salts, some electrolytes in your water. And that really is important because we do need a certain amount of sodium and potassium in our body on a daily basis. Now, when you're doing just an OMAD and you're eating, if you're salting your food properly, you probably don't. If you just had a heavy meal the day before, you've eaten a lot of foods with a lot of salts, you probably don't need to worry about it. But when you enter a longer fast, these electrolytes are crucial, especially if you're doing activities, you're outside, you're sweating, you're working out in the sun, you're sweating, you're working out, you're in a sauna, you're doing anything where you're sweating a lot and you're losing a lot of fluids, then you need to replenish your electrolytes. So it's absolutely crucial. So I just wanted to kind of bring this up because I feel so many people are sitting around, and I know with myself, just having my kids here and I'm cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for everybody, and I'm not in my normal fasting regimen, I'm not in the sauna as much as I am, I'm not in the gym working out as hard as I want to, that, my weight is creeping up. Some people like myself are easy gainers. I eat 3 simple meals a day. I'm putting on weight. It's just that simple. So I really have to reduce my calories. I have to implement some fasting if I want to drop pounds. It's absolutely crucial for me to do that. So I thought I'd share this with you out there. This is a great time to just get as healthy as possible. Take advantage of this time to be with your loved ones or be with yourself. Love yourself, take care of yourself. Eat good, it's important to eat good whole food right now. You want to reduce sugar. You want to reduce all this processed food. This stuff is terrible for our body. It's terrible for our immune system. So you want to do what you can to eliminate that from your diet. And you know what? You don't have to fast to lose weight. And a lot of people, especially if like bodybuilders, those trying to build muscle, they particularly aren't fond of fasting because they want to take advantage of each window of protein synthesis throughout the day and consume protein to help build muscle. But I found from fasting that I was able to lose weight, especially for a lot of people. If you don't work out, you've never really worked out, and you start working out and you're fasting, you're gonna preserve muscle, if not gain some muscle. You're gonna get those noob gains while you're fasting. Another benefit of fasting is it winds up spiking our human growth hormone naturally, and that does help us preserve muscle. So there's just numerous benefits to the world of fasting. But once again, if you aren't into fasting, you can still do things like reducing your sugar, your processed food, watching your calories, making sure you're getting in proper exercise, and do all those things to make sure you're not just gaining weight, putting on extra pounds, creating a lot of inflammation in your body. I was at a point at the end of 2018, I got out of the hospital. There's something called a CRP, it's a C-reactive protein test. That determines the level of inflammation in your body. Now, 0 to 1 is the normal range. I was testing at 16.9, off the charts full of inflammation. From fasting and watching what I was eating and exercising, I wound up reducing that to 0.03, next to zero inflammation in my body. So it is absolutely crucial. I was given a CPAP machine and all these things, which all put off to the side, did not need. Once I started losing that weight, reducing inflammation, I felt amazing. So fasting can just be an amazing asset for some, and I highly recommend you dig around. There's tons of great information on the internet. There's a doctor, he's a nephrologist in Canada, his name's Jason Fung. Research him, look at some of his stuff. He wrote a book called The Obesity Code. I've filmed a lot of videos I will share with you guys in the near future on this as well. And I'm happy to answer anybody's question. So I thought I'd throw this out today, a little bit of a different, off Kung Fu topic, but I think, health, longevity, all these things are important. And that's, why I chose the art of Wing Chun, because this is something that I was able to do as I'm getting old. And this is something I can still perform as well as I could in my 20s. So it's like Muay Thai, some of these arts where they're really hard and forceful. The average Muay Thai fighter in Thailand is retiring in his 20s because it's very abusive on the body. So health and longevity and all these things are very important. And I think fasting can be a great tool to help everybody that needs it, take control of their life and put them in a much better place. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything you'd like to discuss, leave them in the comments down below. Once again, do me a favor if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Give the video a thumbs up, and please be sure to share this with anybody you feel that this could benefit. Thank you for joining me. I wish you and yours well. Have a wonderful day.